All right, everybody, we're going to go ahead and get started. This is week 1 of Ultimate Launch. If you've never taken Ultimate Launch before, this is the first session of a 10-week session that goes over just about everything that you need to get the foundation under you to ensure that you will have a successful real estate business. And we say business because all of you are business owners. Whether you are brand new or have been in the business for years, it's important that not only do we start off on the right foot as the CEOs of our business, but we also help to remember some of the foundations that successful agents have laid along the way. Now, if you guys are anything like I am, some of you guys who have been in the business for more than a hot minute, I know that there are ups and downs, ebbs and flows to real estate. And sometimes we get to a point where we just kind of get to this dip where we don't have a lot of business. We can't figure out why. And usually the cause of that is because we're not putting the proper systems and processes in place that really made us successful at the beginning of our career. We forget. Life just happens. We put all of this work and effort into the foundation of our business, and then we have all of these clients, all of these closings, and then all of a sudden it just goes dormant. We've got nothing, right? So how do we build a consistent pipeline to ensure that every time something closes, another one goes under contract? I am a huge systems person with my ADD, which all of you should know by now that I have to the extreme. I have to live within systems. If I don't, then I just have chaos in my life. I can focus on absolutely nothing. But when I put a system in place and I have my systems in place to tell me what I need to do, what milestones I have to accomplish, what goals that I have set, then I work at a super high functioning rate and I'm able to get a lot of things done in a very short period of time and really stick to my goals. So I put together this Ultimate Launch program to kind of go through those steps, those beginning steps that you need to put into place if you're really going to build a successful and profitable real estate career. So this is a 10-week program, and here's our table of contents. Week 1 is sphere of influence. That's what we're going to go over today. Week 2, define your brand identity. Week 3 is develop your online presence. 4 is developing your niche. 5 is social media content creation. Week 6, lead generation and management. Week 7 is networking and referrals. 8 is client presentations. 9 is your first appointment, and 10 is your first offer. So we're going to go through those week by week. So each week I try to keep this down to an hour or less so that you're not sitting on this call with me, listening to me jabber the entire time. Rules for the Ultimate Launch training is please, when you have a question, unmute yourself. You don't have to raise your hand. If you have any type of experience that you want to share, we welcome that. And we always have questions and comments at the end. So this should be interactive. Please don't stay silent. I get tired of talking to myself, so please feel free to interact at any point. All right, jumping in, sphere of influence. Your sphere of influence in real estate refers to the network of people that an agent knows personally or professionally and who could potentially provide business opportunities, referrals, or connections. Building and nurturing a strong sphere of influence is crucial for generating leads and growing a successful real estate business. For all of you who have never done, I should add, for all of you who have never done Ultimate Launch, there is a link in your email so that you can download or print any of this material as well as we go through each week. So sphere of influence, these are the people you know, the people who know you, and the people that should know that you're in real estate. And we're really going to whittle down on who those people are. I know that if you've gone on any social media groups, you'll say, oh, you'll see the post, my niece listed with another real estate agent, blah, 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 blah. How could she do that? It's the end of the world. And I can tell you that probably that reason is that this agent wasn't reaching out to their sphere of influence. Your sphere of influence may or may never buy or sell a home with you, but they are going to be your highest referral source. These are your cheerleaders. These are your walking billboards. So think of them as that. You should be bragging to your sphere of influence about what you do and how successful you are or are going to be in real estate so they can tell others about you. Trust me, nobody loves to talk about you more than your grandma. So brag to your grandma about how much you love real estate and what you're doing and the accomplishments that you've made. I don't care if it's your best friend from high school, your grandmother, your niece or nephew, whoever it is, they should be part of your sphere of influence. So let's get into the nitty gritty. What is a sphere of influence? The definition is in real estate, a sphere of influence encompasses all of the people with whom an agent has a relationship. So this can include your family, your friends, your acquaintances, former colleagues, past clients, and other professional contacts. If you are just getting into real estate and you say, well, I don't have any past clients. Well, what did you do before you got into real estate? Unless you just graduated high school, which, you could have. Unless you just graduated high school, you have had a job. Did you have a part-time job? Did you have a full-time job? Those are your past clients. What about your colleagues, your former colleagues? A lot of us did something before getting into real estate, whether that was working in human resources or working as a social worker or a teacher or even a server or a bartender. We all have former colleagues. We all have former clients. So they can be part of your sphere of influence. Now, the purpose of having a sphere of influence is leveraging them to create a reliable source of referrals and repeat business. And you see that I didn't put on there, leveraging them means that you're going to force them to buy or sell a home. That's not the point of a sphere of influence. And that's where a lot of people get it wrong. That's where a lot of coaches and mentors get it wrong. Your family can only buy so many houses. And chances are, if you beat down their door and are constantly trying to sell them something, they're not going to want you in their family anymore. So you're not going to go directly to them for the business. You're going to ask for the referrals. You're going to, tell them about what's going on in your work. They're part of your social media network. So they're going to see your posts on both your business page and your personal page about how well you're doing. So these are the people who are going to refer you business, not the people you are going to beg for business. Okay, so you don't want to get the two intermixed. Who can be in your sphere of influence list? First is family and friends. Those are the easiest. Family and friends, past clients, past coworkers, professional contacts, and social media contacts should all be in your sphere. Building up a sphere of influence really builds trust and credibility with the people they refer to you. It's also super cost-effective way to do marketing and get leads. It is probably one of the most cost-effective ways. And what I even love the most is you get high quality leads. When you receive a referral, and we're going to go over referrals and networking later on in the Ultimate Launch program, but when you receive a referral, these people come ingrained to think you're wonderful. So if I was referring, say, Jamie, a client, before that client even gets to Jamie, I'm on the phone with Marty. And I'm telling Marty how amazing Jamie is. Like, oh, you have to work with Jamie. She's a real estate agent out in Mercer County. She's just doing so wonderful. Like her social media is blowing up. She gets all of these wonderful testimonials. And I can just tell you, she's just a really good person because, when my mom was sick, Jamie was there. She sent me flowers. She called me every day and asked me how I was doing. She's just got such a big heart. And trust me, you wouldn't want to buy real estate with anybody other than Jamie. So they come ingrained already. They already have this testimonial, this live testimonial from somebody else that they trust that tells them that you are the only real estate professional that they should be working with. So don't take that for granted. These are high quality leads. The chances of you not converting this lead is almost 0% as long as you're calling them back. So understand that. Word of mouth marketing. So a positive experience, whether that's professionally or personally within your sphere of influence, can lead to word of mouth referrals. You need to take care of your sphere of influence. They should be the most important people in your life. So take care of them. Rejoice and celebrate with them and be there for them when they have bumps in the roads, whether it's their personal or professional life. You need to be there for them. And gently remind them that you're in real estate and you're willing to help them or any of their friends in real estate. All right, so how do we build and nurture your sphere of influence? First thing is you need to identify and categorize your contacts. So compile a comprehensive list of everyone you know. I'm going to give you a list today, but start jotting down notes of who is going to be in this list. Okay. So start with family and friends, mom, dad, sister, brother, uncle, cousin. So start there and let the list grow. You need to have consistent communication with these people. Remember, we have a community profession. Okay. I get it. I have family members that maybe I don't want to talk to every day. I have an aunt that I love, but she also drives me crazy. But as being a community professional, it is my job to consistently communicate with her and follow up with her, whether that means it's a phone call on her birthday or a text message on Christmas, or maybe I send her a card for Easter or something, or maybe I just call and check in on her, make sure she's doing okay. The key is constant communication. If you're not in constant communication with your sphere of influence, then they shouldn't be on your sphere of influence. So as you're building this out, you need to make sure that you are intentionally communicating with these people. You should also be aiming to provide them value. Again, we're not trying to sell them anything. We're providing value to them. So instead of, telling them like, are you looking to buy a house? Are you looking to sell a house? Are you looking to buy a house? Are you looking to sell a house? Instead, provide them valuable information. So these could be market trends. It could be home maintenance things. It could be community news. It could be, if you have some type of collaboration with your local coffee shop and there's discounts on coffee or whatever that is, provide them something value that has to do with something outside of real estate. Now, of course, you want to sneak your name and logo in there, so that they remember that you're in real estate. That's how you're going to get the referrals, but give them something of true value that doesn't pressure them to have to buy or sell anything from you to hold your attention. Show them appreciation. So acknowledge them and thank them for referring business and providing valuable contacts to you. Make sure you're sending them out thank you cards, holiday cards, or even a small gift to show your appreciation. Just a side note, you are never, ever able to pay somebody money who is not a licensed broker for a referral. But that doesn't mean that you can't take Aunt Gertrude out for a nice lunch to show your appreciation to her as your aunt and as somebody who has referred you business. Okay, so just do something nice for them. Make sure that you're leveraging social media. So engage with your sphere of influence on social media by sharing content, commenting on their posts, and participating in their discussions. You want to make sure that they know what they have on their mind is important to you. And use social media platforms to showcase your experience and keep your network informed. So just so that you know, when it comes to social media analytics, the more you comment and the more you like somebody's content, the more they will appear in your feed. So if you're interacting with them, they are twice as likely to see when you post something. So make sure you're keeping in front of your sphere of influence, comment and like on their posts, check in with them, see how they're doing, do happy birthday posts for them. You can find those right in your Facebook notifications. This is a great way to show appreciation and keep in contact on social media with your sphere of influence. And follow up. This is probably most important, and I'm going to tell you why. Always follow up with leads and referrals from your sphere of influence promptly. I mean, promptly, within the hour. And maintain ongoing communication to nurture those relationships and building long-term trust. There is nothing worse that you can do, aside from literally shooting yourself in the foot, than getting a lead or a referral from your sphere of influence and then never calling them. Because what's going to happen? Aunt Nancy gives you a referral to her best friend's niece who is buying a property. That best friend's niece has already heard how amazing you are to work with and how promptly you're going to call, and then you just forget to call, or you're too busy to call. Now what's going to happen? Aunt Nancy's best friend's niece is going to yell at the best friend, who is then going to yell at Aunt Nancy, and now Aunt Nancy has a sour taste in her mouth for you and will not be referring business to you anymore. So it's important that these leads that you're getting from your sphere of influence take precedence, because remember, they come preloaded to buy or sell their home with you. Don't let that opportunity slip by. All right, so here we have a sphere of influence list, and there are multiple pages in here, multiple pages for you to download. If you have worked with Kat in the past, or maybe even Jen, you have been asked for this sphere of influence list because when you onboard, we give everybody postcards to send out to their sphere. Everybody should have a goal of having 100 people on their list as part of their sphere of influence. And I know what you're going to say. I don't know 100 people. You do. You know 100 people. You just may not know 100 people that you interact with regularly, but you should be interacting with 100 people regularly. So let's start from the very beginning and start with family and friends, okay? And if you're jotting down any notes about who should be on this list, think of it this way. Everybody has parents. Okay, whether they're with us or not, whether they're biological or not, whether, you know, mom was grandma or not, it doesn't matter. Everybody has somebody who raised us. So if the person or the persons that raised you are still alive, they go on the list. If you have brothers and sisters, put them on the list. They're your sphere of influence. Grandparents, if your grandparents are still living, put them on the list. Then we go out from there to extended family. We've got aunts, we've got uncles, we've got nieces and nephews, we have cousins. Put all those on the list. Okay. If you have great aunts, great uncles, great nieces, great nephews, second cousins, put them on the list. Now let's talk about our friends. We all have friends. Some of us keep our circle very small. Some of us keep our circle very large. You do you. But start with your best friend. Okay, some of you say, I don't have a best friend. Start with your oldest friend then. Start with your oldest friend and then move in the order in which you think you met them, if it helps you organize your brain. I can tell you off the top of my head, my oldest friend is Jessica Talon. Met her when I was 3. I was so little, I don't even remember where I met her at. We're still friends today. And I could start to name my friends off of my life's timeline that I still talk to off of the first meeting of my friends. So think back that way. Okay, if it helps you organize your brain. So your friends. Next, if you went to college, start thinking about college. Who did you room with in college? Write that name down. Who did you hang out with in college? Write that name down. If you were in a fraternity or sorority, the people that you lived in the house with, write those names down. If you were in any special clubs or activities in your college, write those people down. It's time to reach out to those people. All right, so then we get past college and we start getting into our adult life. Let's think about our jobs. Your very first job, who'd you work with? Write those people down. If you had subsequent jobs after that, write those people down. All right, you see what we're doing here. We're progressing through life and we're finding the important people at each step in our life who positively influenced us in some way, or that we positively influenced, somebody who had a pivotal memory in our life, and we're writing them down. This is the point where you collect the data and we start reaching out to them. Okay? If they were important enough for you to remember, chances are they were important enough to remember you. So start building out that list. Now, for some of you that have been doing real estate for a while, then you can start getting into your past clients list. Your past clients. You should be keeping a database. I've talked to just about all of you about downloading your HUDs and Altas before transferring. Go through your HUDs and Altas and go through your past client list. If you're using a CRM, it makes it really easy to look up your past clients. If you're using it properly, put them on your sphere of influence list. Your sphere of influence list can also be open to real estate agents outside of our market. Do you have any referral agents that you use, maybe in Florida or Ohio or New York? We refer a lot of business out to those states. Put them on your sphere of influence list. All right, you get where I'm going with it. So what I challenge all of you to do is to fill this out. If you fill out every contact on every page, it'll give you 50. I think that if you can get 50, that's a good start. The first 50 are the easiest. After that, the second 50 is the hardest. So definitely give it a try. And then what we ask you to do, name, phone phone number, email address, address. And all of this should be preloaded. You should be loading this information into your CRM so that you can reach out to them frequently. And I know I could not tell you, my best friend Jessica, I could not tell you her address. I know what street she lives on. I could take you there, like in my sleep, but I don't know her address. This is the prime opportunity to reach out to some of your contacts and tell them, hey, I'm updating my contacts and we haven't chatted in a while. I'm so sorry. Life has just gotten away from me. I just wanted to get your updated contact information if that's okay. And then that also gives you the opportunity to really connect with them and be like, life has just been so busy. I got my real estate license. It's just been a whirlwind. I know it's no excuse for not reaching out. But I've just been slammed. It's the first time I've had really a chance to breathe. So what's going on with you? Okay. So that's what you can do here. Give me your thoughts. Sphere of influence. It's always a controversial thing with brokers. Give me your thoughts on sphere of influence. Is Rebecca still on the line? I'm going to pick on her because I know she's done this one before. You see,
I'm here. Yeah, sorry to do it.
That's okay. I know you've done this week before. So give me your experience. How hard is it to build out your sphere of influence list?
I mean, it's tough for me just because the simple fact that I'm not originally from here. So, I mean, I think that I do need to build mine out more because now that I'm thinking about it, like my dad has I have so many contacts for like vendors now, like people could use to fix a roof or, that I didn't really realize that I know that many people. So I do need to grow mine still, but I mean, thinking about college and stuff like that, I mean, it's hard because I went to college in Georgia. I mean, could we add those people on there? I mean, I know we spoke about this before, and the simple fact it has to be people that live in Pennsylvania. But I mean, I don't know.
It doesn't have to be just people that live in Pennsylvania, but I would add people to your sphere of influence that could potentially refer you business in Pennsylvania.
Yeah. I do have a friend who lives in Lancaster, so like I could put him on there because
that would be perfect.
Not that far from here. So I've actually talked to him about another agent, like his agent, because someone asked me about places near there. So
and I can attest that we have a Realty One location in Lancaster because I will be there Wednesday and Thursday, unfortunately. It's a bomb office. It's an old tobacco manufacturing plant. I mean, Greg's office over there is just, it's something to see. If any of you ever go to Lancaster, just because you have to be in Lancaster, stop by their office. It is like a history tour. It's really cool.
I had what are they? Not, I think it's crepe, like a crepe place. It had really good crepes. It was really good.
Yeah, Lancaster's, there's not a whole lot to do, but it's a cute little town.
It's cute, yeah.
Yeah, it's a cute little town. But yeah, I mean, as far as vendors and stuff, Rebecca, you have a unique situation because you're not from here. But I would put those vendors on. Start putting in your dad's connections, people that you know. But obviously, you want to make sure that they're just people that you know, and sending them out that real valuable information, like your newsletter or home tips or whatever the case may be. You'd be surprised how many vendors, if you are referring them business, will refer business back. I think other business owners, I don't even like to call them vendors. I'm just saying like other business owners that you have some type of relationship with are great to add to your sphere of influence. So let me see let me find somebody that's been in the business here for a while. I'm going to pick on Fontanese because Fontanese is great at the networking and referrals. Fawn, are you still online?
Yes, I'm here.
Hey, so share with us, how do you build out, because you have a massive amount of contacts, like you know everybody. So how, for some of the newer agents here that are just trying to build out theirs, how do you personally, like what tactics do you use to really build out those relationships for your sphere of influence?
Christina, let me tell you how I know a lot of people. I have a lot of names in my phone and I can call a lot of people, but I literally suck at keeping my people all in one place.
Oh,
Yeah, like, because I didn't start out doing it. So once you're in it for so long and you don't tackle it, it is the worst ever.
right.
It is the worst. So, I mean, I think what I could say is if you're new in the business, get you a CRM or an Excel sheet and be diligent at it, because once you get in the business, it is so difficult to like recount, those leads or those people that you've been in contact with. It's yeah, it is. Ugh, it almost makes me sick to my stomach.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
and
is.
that's just being real.
No, I love it. I love it. That's, that's good insight because it's really hard. What I suggest to agents who come over is that a lot of people don't know that you can export your email contacts and you can also export your phone contacts. And then you can you can place them into your OneSuite and cross match them so that it blends the information together and updates the information. So if you go into your email, export all of your contacts, it'll literally export everybody you've talked to, upload them as one batch and label them like Google contacts, and then go into your phone and export the CSV file for maybe those people's telephone numbers, and then put that in. And then when it asks you, do you want to replace or do you want to update the contact, click update, and it's going to merge all that data together into one contact card in your CRM.
Hmm,
So it might be something that you
gotcha.
want to try. So like if you have like Jane Doe in your email but you only have her email address, but then you have Jane Doe in your phone, which is her phone number, it'll blend those two together and make one contact card for Jane.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I
It's
didn't know
another
that.
step. It's better, like you said, it's better to do this right from the beginning
Yeah, for
because then
sure.
you have to go in and kind of finagle the information, but you can do that. There is a way around it.
Yeah. And then too, Christina, just like, because I was with a different brokerage, and as soon as you leave, like they immediately snatch your all your contacts that you had, in your CRM. So
Mhm.
I mean, I know we don't have that problem here at One, but I mean, use an Excel sheet. Um, use an Excel sheet to keep your people in so that, no one can take your stuff. But like I said, that's not here at Realty One, so they won't have to worry about that. But
Yeah, we have
just
no
maybe,
capability to see it on the back
yeah,
end. But here's the thing: if you ever leave Realty One and your OneSuite gets shut off, you have the ability to export out before you leave. But once it shuts down, if you didn't do that, it does shut down because the account becomes terminated. So yeah, I mean, definitely when you're getting your leads, I think I've talked to a lot of you guys about this, make an Excel sheet. And I like it for just organization purposes too. And you can do this with your sphere of your sphere of influence and your leads. When you're using Google Drive, and I ask everybody to get a Google account just so that we can use the Drive functions, have your contact sheet. You can have additional tabs where you have a sphere of influence tab, and then you have a March leads tab, and you have an April leads tab, and whatever. You have these tabs in there where you can separate those out. And then at the end of the month, you're putting those in your OneSuite and then doing your drip campaign off of that. But you have your one sheet for your sphere of influence that keeps those front and center in front of you, that has their birthdays and their anniversary dates and their kids' names. And it can be built out to infinity with information. All right, let me pick on somebody else here. Who else is going to be my next target to call on? I'm not going to pick on the new people yet because I don't want to scare them off. Let's pick on Jamie. Jamie's been in the business for a long time, knows a lot of people out in Grove City area. How do you keep your contacts and database up to date?
So I am old. So
You are not
I
old.
I have a tablet that I try to keep up of what I need to do, what's going on, blah blah blah. And I always jot my new contacts or my new people on that piece of paper. And then when I have a slower day that I'm not running around, I go through on that piece of paper and then I put them into my contacts. I put them into the drip systems. I get them where they need to be. I put them in my phone and then I cross them off my piece of paper.
Excellent. And then what are you doing for your follow-up for your sphere of influence, your family, friends, and previous contacts?
So I do send out Christmas cards. I'm very active on social media. If anybody, I'm there all the time. When anybody does refer me to someone and I do close with whoever they refer me to, I do send them a thank you card and a little something, something. I just try to stay in front of people as much as I can. I have great group of friends that when I post something, they share it for me. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, and that's great. That's the whole point. I mean, just remember, just like we have the Brand Boost program, there's strength in numbers, and I'm a huge believer in that. So when Kat is doing your Brand Boost program and you have a new listing, it's not just being shared to your social media, but it's being shared to everybody's social media that's on this call, because there's strength in numbers. Each one of us, regardless of how many followers we have, you have at least 500 individual contacts on your social media that nobody else in this group has. So by putting that information everywhere, it's really boosting the visibility, not just for you, whose page it's on, but also for whoever listed that property. So there's strength in numbers. I truly believe that the best testimonial that any person can give you as a real estate agent is sharing, liking, and following you. I mean, even more so as putting on a testimonial about how great you are and how wonderful you are. But that leads me to my final thing, is just that, testimonials. Your sphere of influence can be a great source for testimonials for you as new agents or even experienced agents. So we talk about sharing our testimonials as part of our overall marketing, and we're going to go over that a little bit more in our marketing segment coming up in a couple weeks. But as you're building out your sphere of influence, this is a great opportunity to think about who is able to say good things about you. And if you've never closed a deal, before, and I don't know if there's anybody on this call that hasn't, but if you've never closed a deal before, you say, well, I can't get any testimonials because I haven't sold a house yet. That is so far from the truth. You should be asking your sphere of influence to leave you a testimonial on your character. Okay. They don't have to go in and say, I never bought a house from this person, but when we were in college and went to a kegger, he was fine. Like, you don't have them put that. But what you are going to ask them to do is a character testimonial, and you can say, this person can say that Amy is a trustworthy person. She's always there for you if you have any questions or if you ever need any help. And if I could recommend a real estate professional in the market, I would refer Amy every time. That's a character testimonial. And you should be trying to gather those customer testimonials on places like Zillow, Realtor.com, your website with ROG, and your Google page, as well as Facebook and your Instagram page as well. So anywhere you can leave a testimonial, start building out your sphere of influence in mind, because that's one of the things you're going to ask them to do, is leave you a character testimonial until you have past clients that can leave those for you. But understand that the consumer, more than anything, wants to know that they can trust whoever they're working with. It doesn't matter that you've done, 1,000 transactions in your lifetime of the business. I have never been asked in my 18 years by a consumer, tell me how many transactions you've closed. Did you make top listing agent for 2022? Were you the top sales agent of your office last month? Nobody's ever asked me that. They want to know whether I'm trustworthy, whether I'm reliable, whether I'm dependable, and whether I can get the job done or not. So those character testimonials are huge. So I'm going to leave you with this, because we are just about at 40 minutes. And I try to let everybody out here by 40-ish, 45-ish, is really go back and start building out that list. Again, family, extended family, friends, go through your lifeline from where you started to where you are now and start building out that contact list. If you are new with Realty One, once you are done with this contact list, you need to turn that into your office TC, because we are going to order custom postcards for you, and we're going to send announcements out to your contact list. And you're going to call your contacts and say, hey, I don't know if you knew this or not, but I just joined Realty One. I need to update my contacts. I want to send you a little something in the mail. I highly doubt you're going to have anybody who's going to be on your sphere of influence that says, no, creeper, I don't want you to know where I live. That's just not how it works. Okay. So come up with these contact lists. We need 50 of them. We will pay for the postcards and the postage on 50 for any new Realty One agent to send announcements. They're really nice announcements with your photo, and we make a big deal about it. We send those out to your sphere of influence. But this helps you collect that data very easily to start your CRM and your book of business. Okay. So give them a call. Get the list, tell them you need an address, you wanted to send them something through the mail. People get asked this all the time. I just got asked the other day what my address was because I'm getting a baby shower invitation. I mean, this stuff happens all the time. People don't give it another thought. And that way you have their full contact information and you can really start sending them something of value in hopes to get future referrals. All right, sound like a plan? Once you turn these in, we'll get those mailed out for you. And like I said, the postage is on us. We take care of everything because you were on week 1 of Ultimate Launch and you did the homework. So, all right. Anybody got any questions or anything they want to share? No, you guys are quiet. Thank you so much for letting me pick on a few of you. I really appreciate it. All right, guys, if that's everything, join us next Wednesday. So the Ultimate Launch is going to be on Wednesdays at 4 o'clock. I just had to move this one because I'm going to be out of town for training. But next Wednesday at 4 o'clock is Define Your Brand Identity. That's when we're going to be talking about really building out who you want to be seen as a real estate professional, really building out your corporate brand, what that's going to look like, and what that's going to say about you. So please join us then. And if you need me in the meantime, give me a call. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.
Thank you.